Good morning. I'm sitting here drinking my coffee and watching CNN, and I'm watching these folks that are in Washington, Illinois, and the tornado that came through yesterday. And it occurs to me that folks just really don't have a clue when it comes to the Almighty and His involvement in things like this. I've known this for a long time. I did a lot of work during the storms of Katrina, and it was so alarming to me to see so many people blaming God and saying that it was God judging the gamblers and all the voodoo people down in New Orleans, and that it was God sending judgment. What kind of God would do that and destroy all of His beautiful creation, along with daycare centers and nursing homes and parks and hello churches, to get back at a few gamblers? I mean, He could just kill them sitting at the card table, and all the chicken bone throwers doing their greet. He could just do away with them and not have to destroy the whole coast, seems like. But I was with a gentleman down there then whose house had been somewhat spared, and I was so uncomfortable as I listened to him talk to neighbors saying, look what God did for me, because God had not done the same thing for them. He didn't spare their houses. And in fact, his house was a little further from the ocean than some of the ones that were destroyed. And there were some other things that factored in. But to give God credit for the storm that came to destroy, or for the protection that some seem to have been singled out to receive, to me, there is two sides of a coin, and it's an ugly coin. God's not destroying folks with storms. He's not. Now, I understand the Old Testament might give you an idea that He is, but He isn't. He's love, and love didn't wipe out the town of Washington yesterday. And it bothers me when people, think and say things like that. But at the same time, to watch a man stand here and he's on the microphone saying, I want to thank the Lord, for saving my family in that tornado. And his neighbors standing next to him crying, saying, God didn't save my family. They died. They all died. I mean, what the hey? They both sat in the same church yesterday morning singing the same hymns and praying the same prayers of protection. So for this old Joe to say God protected us, and it's saying to the neighbor, He didn't protect y'all, did He? You shouldn't have been chewing that tobacco. I tried to tell you that you shouldn't have drank no natty light in the barn last week. I tried to see, they've made prayer into a work, and some folks know how to work the system a little better than others, and they're the ones that God will do something for, and that's just hogwash. Solomon, the wisest man who ever lived, he said time and chance happens to them all. What did Jesus say? The sun rises and sets on the good and the evil. The rain falls on the just and on the unjust. God didn't kill grandma. It unnerves me to hear people talk about God took grandma. God needed an angel in the choir, so He took grandma. She sang a good alto. God didn't need grandma in His choir, and He didn't kill her. And He didn't kill that little girl with cancer down the road because He needed a rose in heaven. He's not up there with a girl in a vase. God's not a hitman. He didn't kill people. Folks died. Grandma died from cholesterol from eating bacon grease for the last 50 years in her green beans, or secondhand smoke from Pawpaw's pipe. I mean, it just, stuff happens, y'all. And we have to learn how to praise God in all things, and to not make other folks feel left out, excluded, disenfranchised, abused by a God who didn't save their milk cow and did save yours. Don't be ignorant. When you're talking about situations, it's so prideful to say all the stuff God did for you in front of folks that He seemingly didn't do the same thing for. And don't go telling me you prayed better than they did. I'm a father. I have kids. I'm not going to do for one and not do for the other one, or protect one and not protect the other one based on how they held their mouth when they made a bad or good confession. That's not going to happen. And it doesn't happen with God. I love Joel Osteen. He's a precious brother. He's a closet inclusionist, and he's going to come out one day, and it's going to cost him everything. And God will sustain him. But he told a wonderful story yesterday on his broadcast about how God had saved his mama from cancer, that she'd gotten cancer, and she spoke the right thing and said the right thing and would not let it get her down. And she's still here years, decades later. She's still kicking. But he never mentioned the fact that cancer killed his dad. And what a shame. It's dishonest to me to only give the testimonies of the few folks that got their miracles and just leave out all the ones that didn't get their miracles, because in fact they all got a miracle, and healing comes to everybody. When you step out of this world, child, you'll be healed 100%. You're going to experience total complete healing, spirit, soul, and body. And I don't know. I hate to see God get blamed for stuff he didn't do. And I hate to see him get credit for stuff that he didn't do. I'm the same way. Don't blame me for something I didn't do. And don't give me credit if I didn't do it, because I'm liable to accept that credit, and that'd be wrong now, wouldn't it? Both of them make me feel icky on the inside. And I don't know. I just wanted to talk about this morning and tell you that God is God. And we live in a world where weather happens. God doesn't send storms and he doesn't stop them based on works. Who prayed what prayer and how much they prayed it. And is he able? He's able to do anything. He's God. But I think we've got just a little bit of mixed up ideas about the Almighty. And we shouldn't use our mixed up ideas to hurt other people. That's not love. And we know that God is love. You have a good day.